Welcome back everybody to another Pomade review. Despite feeling a little under the weather lately and just coming back from a tiring 5-hour work shift, I decided to still shoot a review for you guys. Well, the things I do for my subscribers. Anyway, the pomade I'll be reviewing today, here's like a little disclaimer. The company sent me this product for me to review, but this is not a sponsored video. I was not paid to review this product whatsoever, and everything you hear in this video comes from my own personal experiences, and they're 100% honest. And the pomade I'll be taking a look at today is the Suavesmith Classic Pomade, which is a gel-type water-based pomade. It's water soluble, it's said to have a strong hold, and 100 milliliters, which I reckon is about 3.5 ounces. Well, I'm not really the kind who would convert metric units to imperial units. I use metric units for pretty much everything else except for pomade. When it comes to pomade, I'm pretty much used to the imperial system. It's well, let's just take a look at the product itself. Comes in a pretty generic looking black pomade tin with a picture of some dude with a beard front over here. Suavesmith, craft and confidence, that's their slogan, and they actually come from Singapore. It's where I was born, Southeast Asia, and it's the climate over there. It's pretty humid, obviously in the equator, and temperatures are pretty much constant all year round. It's a relatively humid location. Now, you'll find the description and ingredients to back over here. It says that the classic pomade is crafted for the power broker who finds himself ever ready for a dawning world. The road ahead is fraught with danger, but his spirit is indomitable. Crafted confidence. That sounds pretty empowering. Anyway, just open the product right now. It's a screw top, comes with a screw top. And right here you would see a generic looking gel type water-based pomade that kind of reminds you of anything like Prospectors or Shiner Gold or something. So right now I just got my hair a little bit. And I'll apply the product right now. Scooping it out, it feels like any generic medium hold water-based gel type like Suavecito, but it just has a slightly thicker consistency than Suavecito, but it's a very jelly scoop. Applying to the hair, not so bad. There's some typical gel type resistance, sort of like a medium type resistance, but it goes in quite easily. And I'll apply one more tiny scoop for the sides and back. Now, according to the website description, the pomade is meant to give you sort of a natural medium shine. Now the shine looks a little wet and on the medium side, but as it dries, it'll turn to more of a low to medium type of shine. And the scent on this one, I kind of do like it. It's a very clean cologne scent. It's definitely not that strong. It's not overpowering whatsoever. It's very much bearable, and you can't really smell it that much. Now slicking everything is actually pretty easy. And the slickness of this pomade is actually quite amazing. You can see that I can form my part for my pomp really easily, and my sides were looking really poofy earlier, but now you can see the comb lines that are pretty tight here. Now I'll just go ahead and form the pomp. Now the control in this pomade is actually sort of a good one. It's not the best ever, but for a gel type water-based pomade, I do like the control out of this one in a way that the control for a gel type water-based pomade tends to, when you palm with it, you would end up with a really blocky looking palm that goes straight up in the air and super flat. I mean, just like a wall. Well, with this one, I still can manage to form a relatively rounded forward pompadour without having the front just fall off too much and not resisting too much. And I always appreciated when a gel type water base allows you to sculpt and mold a relatively round pompadour shape that I don't really get with a lot of pomades like this. Now we're just going to select the sides a little more. And then we'll call it done soon after. Okay, I'll just call it done right here. And you can see I don't have the roundest, I don't have the best shape ever for a forward pompadour, but still for a gel type water-based pomade, it looks better than stuff you would expect from, say, Suavesmith, for example. I get a better pompadour shape with this particular gel type pomade. And it actually does harden up pretty quickly, but not as quickly as Suavesmith does. But when it comes to this one, you would have, sometimes when it comes to hardening factor of a gel type water-based pomade, one thing you might be worried about is time, in a way that it hardens up too quickly, so you can't take your time to style your hair, or sometimes it might take a little too long to harden. So after you style your hair into shape, you might worry when your hair would actually start to hold. I'd say this one, if you can actually style your hair, say about I use about 2 scoops of this pomade right over here. If you can style your hair within less than 8 minutes, you should actually be good. But otherwise, it's very easy to just redampen everything in your hair and just restyle everything. But the hardening factor is, it's not as quick as Suavesmith is, but it's pretty quick for compared to some other gel type water-based pomades I've used. And I'll just show how everything looks right now. Tight sides. Like I said, it's pretty rounded forward for a gel type, which is what I do like. The endurance on this one is actually, I do like the endurance. It is meant to give you sort of a strong hold, but it's not exactly clear in what kind of hold it is in terms of pomade terms, because strong hold is more of a layman's terms. I believe that they actually put this so it's easier for a lot of people out there who are trying to buy hair products to actually understand what kind of hold it'll give you. But if it's strong, it's meant to be either on firm or heavy or somewhere along the lines of that one. So in cold weather, which is what I'm experiencing right now, as long as it doesn't rain, of course, I wouldn't use a gel type water-based pomade on a rainy day. On regular cold days, the endurance is amazing. My hair didn't actually move at all, and that's how it works in my relatively fine hair. And this is one of those pomades whose hold actually relies on the hardening factor. The thing about this is that it hardens more than some other gel type water-based pomades I've used. It actually really, especially if you apply it with like more, your hair is more damp, obviously the more hardened up it will get, and it actually really hardens up to a level where it's almost like gel, except that it's pretty easy to restyle with a little bit of water, and it doesn't flake at all. Props to them, because when it comes to creating a gel type pomade that hardens almost as much as gel, they tend to also flake like gel, but this one, it hardens up so much so that it can give you that hold, but it does not flake at the same time. Now, I'm personally not a huge fan of products that harden, but I should not judge it in this particular manner. But there are a lot of people who are actually looking for products that actually harden, but they don't want it to flake. So in that aspect, it actually does harden up to give you that hold, and it does it really well. When it comes to washing out the product of your hair, it's really easy. It just goes out with only water actually, and it goes out pretty clean. And compared to other orthodox gel type pomades I've used, it doesn't really dry my hair out too much. You do have a bit of that dry hair feeling, but it's not as bad as some straw. It's still a little better compared to some other gel types, but your hair would still not feel the healthiest. But overall, I'd have to say this really does what it's supposed to do, and it's actually a good product in a way that it performs exactly up to its standards. It doesn't have a very overpowering smell. It has sort of the shine you can see right now is a little glossy, it's a little wet. But once it actually sets and all the water evaporates, you get sort of like a low to medium type shine, which is exactly what they're going for. They want a natural medium shine, which is sort of like a little on the drier side of things, but you still have some shine, but it doesn't look wet. And it's meant to give you a strong hold on my hair, at least in this weather. Amazing hold. Like, it's just, my hair didn't move all day, and it's really one of those pomades that would actually work for Asian hair in humid climates, which is exactly what this is made for, given that it's made in Singapore. So this is just absolutely an amazing product if you if you don't mind a product that hardens, but something you want to use in a relatively humid climate, and if your hair is also on the thicker side. So that is all I have to say about the Suavesmith Classic Pomade. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe to this channel, click on the bell icon to send a single upload to The Squinty Show, and I'll see you next time on The Squinty Show.